Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Sports Card Madness. This is LZ. I am here with Nick, and today we're going to get into what is behind these massive sales that we're seeing in the hobby. We just saw the Otani baseball go for 5 million plus on Golden, and we see them all the time. We see these big, huge purchases. Who are the people that are buying these things? Why are they dropping this much cash on collectibles? Let's get into it. Nick, what are your thoughts?
What's up, man? All right, I got a lot of thoughts on this. I did a informative video on the dynamics of wealth on Instagram, and it kind of blew up. So, what's happening here? Obviously, you have people with a ton of money buying really expensive assets. This happens all the time in all sorts of spaces: real estate, stocks, and sports cards and art. And sports cards is just another extension of that. And so they have the money, right? They're going to buy the cards. But if you peel back the curtain, there's often other strategies behind owning expensive assets like this, like a sports team or something like that, rare assets. One thing that they have to have in common is that you'll think that they appreciate in value. So real estate in most cases goes up over time. Art typically goes up over time. Stocks, again, 50-year track record, goes up over time. Sports cards, depending on what they are, 1952 Mantle, some things like that, will just continue to go up because they've reached the status of
50-50 baseball is going to go up over time.
I agree.
Probably,
I think
right?
that I think that ball sold for 4.5, I think, right?
Oh, yeah. Okay.
I want to educate the audience a little bit. There's a sneaky little thing that wealthy people can employ to fund their lifestyles. And the rest of the world doesn't even realize it. It's not blown up. Politicians don't talk about it because it's too complicated. But I'm going to try to simplify it. It is called buy, borrow, die. Okay. I've simplified it to 3 words. All right.
Okay.
So
all right, break it down.
Let's say totally the Otani guy was going to do this. All right.
Okay.
He buys this ball for 4.5 million. All right. Okay. To buy a ball like that, dude's probably worth 50 million. Most likely, maybe 100 million.
Hopefully,
good God, hopefully, most likely is though. I mean, that's they got to make sure he's going to pay for it and has the funds. And if he has the funds, anyway, so he buys that ball.
Is he buying it cash? He's got to pay cash for it, right?
Or well, he could wire,
could finance it.
Yeah,
could finance it.
True, you could finance it.
Okay,
but I don't know. Right. I mean, you've got to finance it quick, and it's going to get weird on a collectible. Yeah. You could, But what you could do in this buy, borrow, die scenario is you buy that ball and you don't go to Bank of America. You don't go to, Chase Bank. You call up some of the houses like JP Morgan. They have a private banking institution. Most people don't know this. They have a nice private guy that they're paying a few $100,000 a year. He's your guy. Tim is your guy. And that guy says, you bought a really nice baseball. Would you like a collateralized loan for I don't know, what's the prime rate? 5%? I'll give you 2% because we're JP Morgan and we're huge and we can. And so what they can do is say, all right, the ball is worth 4.5. I'm going to take $1 million loan out at 1%. And then you literally live off of that money, nearly tax-free. You have not sold the ball, so there's no taxable event there. You still have the ball in your possession that will appreciate over time. Again, you're not paying taxes on it. This money's coming through at 1%. You're living off of it, buying whatever you want, your things, your houses, your rent. And then that's the borrow part. Then
hold on. Before you get to the next step, I actually have a clarifying question. I just bought this thing for 5 million cash, or I wired it. I'm dropping the 5 million cash to buy the ball, and then I'm taking out a loan against it for $1 million, but what I had 5 million. What do I need the million for? Why did I buy the ball? I could have just lived off the 5 million.
Just pausing the episode here quick to tell you about DraftKings new app Pick6. If you think your team is going to score more than 100 points, or your favorite point guard is going to score more than 4 3-pointers, this is how it works. You actually pick 2 to 6 players of the same sport, and you choose if they will have more or less of a stat: points, assists, rebounds, whatever. You lock them in, you compete against other opponents for a shot at big cash prizes. If you download the new DraftKings Pick6 app now, you can actually use code MADNESS6. That will allow you to play $5 and actually get $50 in credits guaranteed. Now back to the show. Because now you've got the ball in your possession and it will appreciate. You own the ball. And even better, you're borrowing against the ball. You're not taking a million. So you paid 5. You're not like getting another million and you're not like taking it away. You are literally like just getting $1 million loan based on the value of the ball. A lot of people do this for kitchens, right? So on a smaller scale, you want to expand your kitchen, you get a home equity line of credit. This is like that on crack. You're getting a HELOC, you're getting a home equity line of credit on the ball. But now it's not for the home, it's not for a new kitchen. It's just to live. There's no restrictions. You don't have to
right. I don't have to build a kitchen with it.
When you get a HELOC, you have a lot of things. I mean, you have some things to go through here, some hoops, but now you're just using it to live off of, and you're paying a very low interest rate. And the key here, the biggest key, that interest rate needs to be lower than the asset appreciates. So let's say we think that ball is going to appreciate 5% a year. I'm just making up a number, might be 10, might be 5. That interest rate has to be lower than that rate, and then you're good. Your delta is what you're making for free, tax-free. And then here's the even better kicker, and this is why they do it. That first reason, it's kind of a pain, saves you a little bit of like arbitrage, but the reason you do it is when you die, you could just keep passing it down and keep kicking the can, like the loan. Whoa. It's crazy.
So your kids can do the same thing with it.
Borrow right against it. And so now you have this asset in your family for generations, and you could just collateralize loan the thing. Now obviously it goes wrong if you get a trust fund kid that likes hookers and boats a lot, and the private banker Tim is like, ooh, you're starting to scare me with how much money you spend. I don't know about your ability to pay this loan back for the next 20 years. I'm going to call the loan. They can. So it's dicey, but I think that's what's happening behind some of these massive purchases.
Big ones. There's
some money laundering stuff too. Obviously, if you've a cash-based business, cards, you could buy cards very quickly. It's any portable asset that's worth something, like a gold coin or a card or Bitcoin or something like that. You could take cash, you could buy it, becomes portable, you move it around, you can launder money. So there's some of that involved. There's some overseas stuff involved, but I assure you, some of these people are doing the buy, borrow, die strategy with these high-end sales.
That is really interesting. I've never heard that before. But I loved your analogy around the loan on getting a new kitchen. Makes total sense. Everybody should be able to relate to that. Bathrooms and kitchen remodeling. You're getting a HELOC.
Except here, it's a $5 million home.
And you're getting a better rate. You're getting it at like 2% as opposed to your HELOC, which is going to be like 6.
Exactly. So the HELOC is based on the prime rate. You can Google that. It's just like the standard rate we go by. This rate's going to be double secret, super special from Tim at JP Morgan. And
how do I find a Tim, Nick?
You got to have the right net worth, man. You got to have the right net worth. Yeah, and actually, Tim will find you.
Okay. All right. Interesting. Once you get to that,
it's almost like an invite-only party.
That's what he gets paid for.
You'll start getting these packets in the mail, like, ooh, what's that really thick packet from this guy?
That's nice. That's good card stock right there.
Yeah. JP Morgan, what private wealth? And then you'll know that you could start doing that yourself.
All right. Very interesting. Cool. All right. Well, everybody, next time you see a big one come down, think about this. Think about who's buying it. All right. Let's get to the pop quiz question. Nick, I'm going to give you 3. Give me your top 3. We already did it for males. Female vocalist leads in a band. Give me your top 3 female vocalists. We've already done males.
All right, cool. Fleetwood Mac, definitely going with Stevie Nicks.
All right, so we got Stevie Nicks.
Yeah, she's a legend. Oh man, what's that? What's the Barracuda song? Who is that chick? What is her name? Whoever that is. That's my second.
I'll think about it in a second. Go to your next one.
All right, so the Barracuda song.
Man. It's Heart.
Yeah, but I don't know her name.
Ann Wilson.
Thank you.
Boom.
Thank you.
All right, so we got Ann Wilson.
That was like the first Seattle band that like blew up Seattle. I was watching some grunge documentary, and they were like the most famous Seattle band all the way until Pearl Jam and everybody came along, right?
That's a good call. They were really popular.
Right.
Ann Wilson's amazing.
Oh my goodness. Another female. It has to be a band, right? It can't be like
I don't want to go
Whitney Houston,
like, Mariah Carey,
none
Whitney
of that
Houston.
stuff.
No.
All right, I'm gonna go with something from my era, and she she dominated in a time that was very heavily male dominated.
Mhm.
She crushed it and had everybody's respect and had damn good music. Gwen Stefani, no doubt.
Gwen Stefani is a great one. Great one. Yeah, that's a good list. So we have Stevie Nicks, Ann Wilson, Gwen Stefani. All right. I am going with Ann Wilson at number one. She's so damn good.
You didn't even know her name.
So damn good. No, she is. She is.
We all know Barracuda. We just don't know her name.
No, you know what it is? I knew her name coming into it, but then you said you didn't know it, and I just like got flustered. I'm like, oh crap, I don't know it either. No, Ann Wilson at one.
Yeah.
Annie Lennox from the Eurythmics.
Wow.
Annie Lennox. Her as a vocalist is so underrated.
One of the best song hooks ever, too. Yeah, it's a great band. Cool.
Oh, man. All right, so that's number two. Number three, I'm going to go with similar generation. I thought you were going to go here when you said Gwen Stefani. I am going to go with Alanis Morissette.
Oh, that's a band.
She got a ton of respect, too.
I mean, the Foo Fighters drummer was in that band, you know?
Yeah. So I'm going to go there. And there are others, but
That's the same vein. Like those two really hung in the grunge era. Like they held their own and
they did.
It's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think who I've seen. I didn't see I saw Alanis Morissette. I didn't see
I'm surprised that you didn't say Janis Joplin because you talk about her a lot. Did you forget about her?
I don't think it's like the band thing is tripping me up. You know, it's like I think of that person being iconic, but then I'm like, oh, great. Is Janis Joplin in a band or is it just like a no-name drummer that changes every day? You know?
No, I think it was a band, but I see what you're saying. Yeah, I see what you're saying.
Like I was thinking,
I think she's kind of like Dave Matthews. Dave Matthews definitely has a band, but it's Dave Matthews in his band is what it is.
Or Dave and Tim in his band.
Yeah, Dave and Tim. Yeah, you're right. Much respect to Tim. All right. Yeah, solid list there.
Good list. Let us know what we missed.
All right.
Don't say Courtney Love. Just kidding. All right. Thanks, everyone.
Bye, everybody.